Well, in building that trust, I think has a lot to do with just listening, whether it's your own business again, or if it is trying to help other businesses. Listening. So when you're doing that, what are you hearing from the women that are coming to you saying, how do I launch this?
I hear, so it leads to the showing up too, because I hear there's a heart piece to whatever it is that they're launching. There's a deeper why. Like marketing talks about the why all the time, but it doesn't talk about the actual intent and purpose that we forget to connect to on a daily basis as to like why we do certain things. And running a business is one of those things. So they'll come up and be like, okay, well, how do I show up in social media? How do I get the website out there? What do I do for this? But it's like, if you start by connecting to where you are already and what your truth is around what it is that you're launching, everything else will start to fall into place and follow suit after that. So the pain points tend to be a result of not seeing that piece. Like, how hard is it for us to see ourselves, like to understand what we have and what we bring? And how many times has someone reflected to you who they see from you, but you don't see that about yourself?
Yeah.
So when you turn it around and you have someone reflecting that to you and actually making you go deeper into the reason why it's there, it creates a different type of ecosystem and connection and an ease to how you show up when you go to these networking things, because you're actually connected to your intent and it feels more powerful than going out and not really wanting to talk about your product or your business or whatever it is, which I've done too. And I had to learn it along the way. It was not easy to show up and do videos on social media at first. I was like, nope, I don't want to do it. Even with the new business, I was like, let's try AI videos. And now I'm like, now I'm going to do AI video and a non-AI video and show people the difference in how it works, because people want to know who you are, why you started it, and why they should work with you. Yeah. So if you don't believe that in yourself, how is that going to work?
Yeah, that like level of authenticity, that's been a recurring theme on pretty much every guest that we've had on the show, is that authenticity piece. And I even love all the way back to your first story when you walked in and, you know, to the office world and you're barefoot, you know, and being your authentic self. And then it's not, you're not always going to be a fit for everything. There's going to be rejection along the way. There's going to be where you don't fit in or you don't exactly fit the mold. Yeah. Right. It's overcoming those moments and then figuring out that's okay. Like, I'm not everybody. Like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's all right. You just got to find people that you are aligned with, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, out of curiosity, you said when you ask these women, when you're listening to see, what is their reason? Have you ever come across anyone that didn't have a reason and they were like, I
was actually in a circle for a guy that has a very successful ad agency, like just a support circle. And he wasn't a woman, but he definitely was like, I should just launch a product. And someone who was in the circle who'd been in CPG for decades was like, so do you know what the product is? Do you know what you want to launch? He's like, no, I'm researching and I'm seeing what comes up. And so he just knew that he could scale a business because of the ads. But in the end, we all kind of clarified, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. And when there isn't that heart there, especially in such a saturated market, it's not really going to matter. And it's not really going to do great. And you're not really going to want to sell it because you don't really care what it is. So there has been that experience. But the majority of the women that come to me, no. They know, because I think we come from a different place with business than men do.
Or it might just be like a more subconscious level that they haven't yet discovered, right?